Outrage as police officer kills Lagos lawyer on Christmas Day. Nigeria more vulnerable than United. Bishop of Catholic Diocese of Sokoto Matthew Asan Kuka tells President Buhari. And INEC warns Nigerians against vote buying, says 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 500,000 naira awaits defaulters. Well, many thanks for joining us in News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The Lagos State Police Commander said it will reappraise its rules of engagement following the death of a lawyer, Bolanle Rahim. Rahim was shot dead by a police officer while inside a vehicle with her husband in the Ajah area of Lagos on Christmas Day. A death came weeks after a similar incident happened in the same location. Lamenting the incident, the police public relations officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, in a statement on Monday, said an order for the case to be investigated was in place, just as he conferred with the family of the deceased and urged citizens to remain calm. He also said the policemen will be moved to the State Criminal Investigation Department in Panti for further investigation. The killing of Rahim is one of the many incidents of police brutality and extrajudicial killings that have been recorded in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka of the Sokoto Catholic Diocese has said President Muhammadu Buhari is leaving Nigerians far more vulnerable than when he assumed office in 2015. Kuka made this known in his 2022 Christmas message, commented that the health of the president had improved in the last 7.5 years he has been in office. Kuka added that he wished millions of Nigerians enjoyed a fraction of Buhari's enhanced health via access to better healthcare services in the country. He, however, commended the president for the efforts made in the area of infrastructure and in seeking to end misconduct in the electoral processes. Well, to speak more on this development, Liberus Oshoma, legal expert and political affairs analyst, joins me now. Well, as always, thank you very much for your time. Many Nigerians would agree that there appears to be a staggering difference between campaign promises and actual deliverables of political office holders. Why is this so?
Yeah, thank you. This is so because we do not hold our politicians accountable. So leadership is also a very big problem here. There's need for the leaders to learn to hold, there's need for the followership, to learn to hold the leaders accountable. Because you find out that when promises are made, they are made to people. And when these people do not insist on the fulfillment of these promises, then they can pass as campaign promises and then anything happens. We forget that promises made during campaign are like a social contract, even though some written, some unwritten. So once you're voted into office on the basis of those promises made, then you must insist that they be fulfilled. It's like somebody buying product from you with a currency, only for you to exchange that currency and you discover that the currency is fake. You go back to the person and insist that the right currency must be given. That's why our leaders do not take us seriously. Look at elections are here again. They are over-promising. And definitely because they know that the people will not hold them accountable, they will not deliver.
Now, in voting people into power, how does the electorate differentiate mere promises from the real deal?
Falashade, it's very simple. We asked, I remember during Goodluck Jonathan's tenure in 2011, promises were made, and the same question I asked was, how do you benchmark these promises? How do you determine if they will be fulfilled? What are the antecedents of the person making the promises? How do you interrogate this person? They say, don't worry, the man has not, he didn't wear any shoe before. He's the first graduate we are having. Buhari came. A lot of promises, unrealizable promises were made. It was easier then for you when somebody tells you, I want to translate the economy. I want to ensure that poverty is eradicated. You must ask how. What are the indices on ground? How are you going to do it? How much is available for you to eradicate poverty? What are you going to use? But Nigerians, the followers also, it is easy for the followers to tell you, no, if they tell you they are secret now, another political party will copy it. What you're telling them is, don't tell me the how, just make the promises. So even the man making the promises in some cases does not even know how he wants to do them. So that's the challenge. You need to interrogate the how, the when, and then how much is available. A man tells you, I will make you a billionaire tomorrow, and yet you can't afford a daily meal today. You are not asking him, please, how are you going to do this? I don't have a job. I am not a certificated, I'm not even gone to school. The schools are on strike. So how are you going to do this? Where is the money going to come from? You're happy. You say, praise the Lord. You say, a miracle can happen. That's why it becomes very difficult for leaders to fulfill promises. And then when they drop a little in the ocean, in the massive ocean of promises they have made, they ask you to clap for them for giving you dividends of democracy. Because you as followers, you also abdicated your responsibilities without interrogating the promises.
Well, definitely, this is a conversation we can't finish at this time, but Liberos Oshoma, a legal expert and political affairs analyst, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. Well, still on electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has said 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 500,000 naira awaits anyone found guilty of buying votes during the 2023 elections. The INEC Commissioner in Jigawa State, Mohammed Lawal Basha, said this in an interview with newsmen. The Commissioner said the Electoral Commission is prepared to conduct all the elections with a BVAS machine to ensure free and fair elections, while advising those who have registered but have not collected their voter cards to do so before the closing date. The Commissioner added that the agency has made plans to ensure that people with special needs, the elderly and pregnant women can vote easily. President Muhammadu Buhari has underscored that he will retire to his hometown in Daura, Katsina State to rest and be far away as much as possible to avoid problems when he leaves office on May 29, 2023. The president said this on Sunday when he received residents of the Federal Capital Territory on Christmas homage. He further expressed appreciation to Nigerians for trusting, supporting and giving him the opportunity to serve as a leader.
I thank you very much for making the time, and I congratulate you and your families for this great day. And I hope I promise a lot of my colleagues that I will try and be as far away from Abuja as possible in 5 months' time, so that nobody can create any problem for me anymore. I'll be in Daura, and you know Daura is on the border with Niger. So I think in spite of technology, I think I'll be safe enough there. I thank God that before the 2019 elections, I went round the whole of the state. In 2003 to 2011, I went to all the local governments in this country. In 2019, I went to all the state headquarters. And I thank Nigerians, the people who turned up in every state and every local government are more than what anybody can buy or force. So I was pleased Nigerians understood me and accepted me.
Speaking on behalf of the delegates, the Minister of FCT, Mohammed Bello, said it has become mandatory for a delegation of residents of the territory to pay homage to the President during festivities like Christmas and Salah because he is the Governor General of the FCT.
Due to COVID-19, we were not able to come and pay you Christmas homage in December of 2021 and December of 2022. I 2020. So we thank God Almighty for have made this possible, particularly also making Christmas to fall on a Sunday. I recall this is the second time we are celebrating Christmas on a Sunday during your tenure of office. And as has been mentioned by the master of ceremony, this also represents the last Christmas that we are going to have an opportunity as residents of the Federal Capital Territory to come and pay you homage, because in 5 months' time, your tenure would have ended, and the next Christmas will be held here under a new president.
I've not heard of any journalist being arrested by your directors. And at times as a journalist, when I read and I see comments of my colleagues, at times on my own I call them. And they will remind me that, what about you in the National Assembly? I said, but I've been elected to speak on behalf of the people. But Mr. President, you have accommodated every one of us, notwithstanding some of the bitter criticism coming from politicians and the media. And I think history will be very kind to you on this, Mr. President.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has promised to clear all the environmental pollution in Bayelsa State as well as other states within the Niger Delta region if elected in 2023. Speaking in Yenagoa during the party's campaign in the state, Obi also pledged to end incessant lecturer strike and resultant closure of the nation's universities. The former Anambra governor also lauded the people of Bayelsa State for coming out en masse in the campaign rally held in the state at the weekend. Obi also promised to ensure Bayelsa State gets a fair share of what they are giving to Nigeria, adding that the issue of police brutality and harassment will become a thing of the past.
Me and Daddy, go and check our energy, go and check our age. We are committed to this. A new Nigeria is possible. A Nigeria where people have jobs is possible. A Nigeria that will compete in the world is possible. I'm assuring the youth that when we are in government, Nigeria will be great. Nigeria will be a new Nigeria, will be everything. I assure you, the government we are going to lead will make sure that there's education in the north, there's education in women. Women and youth will be in charge of our government. There's a road in Bayelsa which was awarded and flagged off in 1970. 52 years, it has not been completed. That is unacceptable to human and to God. Bayelsa must have a road. Bayelsa must have the best, because this is where Nigeria has found its first oil. We will clean up the devastated area of Bayelsa. Everywhere the environmental pollution, I will clean it up. Bayelsa will be able to fish again and eat fish from their waters.
Nigerians have been advised to reflect on the life and times of Jesus Christ, whose birthday is widely commemorated the world over. Speaking exclusively to TV360 Nigeria crew after Christmas church service, Reverend Father Nicholas Onyema of Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Pro-Cathedral Catholic Archdiocese of Abuja also called for a harmonious relationship among the citizens. This, he says, is a key ingredient for national growth and development. With the 2023 elections fast approaching amid a wave of rising insecurity, residents in Abuja expressed confidence in the law enforcement agents to ensure credible and violence-free polls.
The message of Christmas is simple. God gave us His Son, and His Son is the greatest gift to humanity. The gift of love, the gift of reconciliation, the gift of forgiveness, the gift of everything good that humanity needs to survive and be happy. That is what we are celebrating. The joy of the Christmas season should spill over into our general elections. Christmas is about peace, because Jesus is the bringer of peace. So during the elections, let the joy of peace, the message of peace, spill over to the extent that people will conduct the elections, those responsible and saddled with the responsibility of conducting elections should carry out those functions peacefully, so that Nigerians will not go into conflict.
This Christmas season is a time, the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, a time for peace, a time for love, and a time for forgiveness, a time for us to come together as one family, because as you can see what's happening all over the world now, there is disunity, but the Christmas always brings us as one family.
Christmas is a time to share love. It's a time for giving and time for receiving. And most importantly, time to share that love that God sent Christ to give us with our fellow human beings. So there are people around us that need that love, uncommon love, in times of gifts, expressions, words of encouragement, most importantly gifts, because this is the time to give. So basically, generally, Christmas is a time to share love with one another, especially those that need it more, who don't get it often.
It's celebration for, you can see I came with my grandchildren. It's a big celebration in our house. Despite the fact that it's a yearly thing, this year we have a lot of things to be so thankful to God, healing, showers of blessings, everything. So it's a special one for me and my children and grandchildren.
The United States government has announced a project to strengthen the forensic and chemical analysis capacity of the NDLEA, as well as its intelligence gathering and prosecution capabilities. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi disclosed this on Monday in Abuja. He added that the support was from the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. It comes on the heels of an award of 500 million naira grant received by the agency from the Abdul Samad Rabiu initiative to fund selected projects. Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come, Zelensky warns Ukrainians of more attacks despite Putin's call for negotiations. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back now. Here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Lagos State Police Commander said it will reappraise its rules of engagement following the death of a lawyer, Bolanle Rahim. Rahim was shot dead by a police officer while inside a vehicle with her husband in Ajah area of Lagos on Christmas Day. The death came weeks after a similar incident happened in the same location. We also told you that Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka of the Sokoto Catholic Diocese has said President Muhammadu Buhari is leaving Nigerians far more vulnerable than when he assumed office in 2015. Kuka will make this known in his 2022 Christmas message, added that he wished millions of Nigerians enjoyed a fraction of Buhari's enhanced health via access to better healthcare services in the country. In case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Beijing will begin distributing Pfizer's COVID-19 drug Paxlovid to the city's community health centers in the coming days. According to state media on Monday, this comes as the city grapples with an unprecedented wave of infections that has severely strained its hospitals and emptied pharmacy shelves. Paxlovid remains the only foreign medicine to treat COVID that has been approved by China's regulator for nationwide use, but access is extremely difficult to come by. China will no longer publish daily figures for COVID-19 cases and deaths, the National Health Commissioner said, ending a practice that began in early 2020. Cities across China are struggling with surging virus cases, resulting in pharmacy shelves stripped bare and overflowing hospitals and crematoriums after Beijing suddenly dismantled its zero COVID-19 regime earlier this month. The decision to scrap the daily virus count comes amid concerns that the country's booming wave of infections is not being accurately reflected in official statistics. I will take a breather here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed Monday, 12 December 2022 to Sunday, 22nd January 2023 as the dates for the collection of PVCs nationwide from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including Saturdays and Sundays. All registrants who are yet to collect their PVCs or requested for transfer of registration, as well as those who applied for replacement of lost or damaged PVCs, can now visit INEC local government offices where they intend to vote to collect their PVCs. Collection of PVCs will be further extended to ward level for those who are unable to collect theirs at local government offices from Friday 6th to Sunday 15 January 2023. Thereafter, the exercise will be reverted to the local government offices of the INEC until Sunday 22nd January 2023. Remember, only those with PVC can vote on election day. Collect your PVC now to vote. It is your duty. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
Welcome back. In business, latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has shown that airplane ticket prices in Nigeria increased by 97.09% in a year. According to the Transport Fair Watch report released recently, Nigerians traveling by air paid an average of 73,267 naira for flight tickets in November 2022. This shows that the average price of single flight tickets increased by 0.09% from 73,198 naira in October 2022. The report also revealed that the states with the highest average prices of airplane tickets on a single journey were Taraba, Delta, Bayelsa, and Oyo states. Following the devastating floods that led to the loss of lives and property across the various states in the country, President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday, December 21st, forwarded to the Senate for approval a 819.5 billion naira supplementary budget for the 2022 fiscal year to the various infrastructures destroyed by floods. President Buhari added that the proposed supplementary budget will be financed by additional domestic borrowings. While speaking on TV360's flagship program, TV360, economist Gospel Obele said that although the request for the supplementary budget was expected, major concern lies with the possibility that the budget, if approved, might not be expended as planned. Obele added that the funds must also be invested in projects that would avert such occurrences in the future.
It was largely expected, in terms of possible fiscal actions that will be taken by the administration, as a result of the flooding. We all know that the flooding was has a lot of impact on the Nigerian economy, especially on food. And the FAO have also noted that about 17 to 35 million Nigerians stand the risk of poverty, as a result of the looming food crisis, due to the flood situation in Nigeria. So having said that, it's okay to say that institutions, we're looking for ways to, fix the challenge. However, in as much as this is a bit fair, it again borders heavily on the fact that we are a very reactionary driven people in terms of the damage must have been done first before we begin to find solutions. There are many 101 ways we could have managed risk or even averted the risk of flooding in the first place, especially flooding, in fact, on food production centers in Nigeria. But then again, the conversation now is how do we manage or how do we begin to find a way around the damage that's happened? And as a result, the conversations around the new supplementary budget. So number one, it's not surprising, just to create a context around it. Number two, the big concern is, however, that even if those monies have been approved by the Senate and the central government accesses those funds, what are the plans to ensure that those investments or those monies goes into the right investment to ensure that the critical capital or infrastructural investments or projects are executed, to avert this kind of challenge again next time.
Well, away from business now to the foreign scene, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned residents of the country to expect more Russian attacks in the Yuletide season. In the video addressed on Sunday, Zelensky warned Ukrainians of further attacks, saying Russia would aim to make the last few days of 2022 dark and difficult. On Christmas Day, Russia launched more than 10 rocket attacks in the Kharkiv region of Ukraine and shelled more than 25 towns along the Kupiansk Liman front line. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, power shutdowns have been experienced across the country as some of the missiles have reportedly struck energy facilities in several regions. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
The Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA, has shut the doors of popular nightclub Quillox on Ozumba Mbadiwe Street, Victoria Island, for its failure to comply with directives on organizing events and not obtaining a sound control permit from the agency. In a statement on Sunday, the general manager of LASEPA, Dolapo Fashawe, disclosed that the agency had received several distress calls with video evidence from concerned neighbors to support their claims on alleged environmental disturbances being perpetrated by the club, without consideration to the rights of other residents to a peaceful environment. According to her, an invitation was extended to Quillox Club like every other stakeholder, but it was ignored by the management for reasons best known to them. She said that no individual or group is bigger than society, adding that the agency is still making efforts to ensure that all interests are protected under the law. Nigerian stand-up comedian Bovi Ugboma has slammed a fan on social media after the fan said he was looking up to the comedian's marriage, hoping that it will not crash. The fan took to Twitter to express his hurt and disappointment following the recent breakup of another veteran comedian, Bright Okocha, better known as Basketmouth, and his wife, Elsie. He then said he was looking up to his favorites, whose marriages are still standing strong, naming Bovi, Ayomakun, and Obi Kubana. In his response, a livid Bovi asked the fan to use his parents as models of marriage. Well, that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Gwelin Balaguer, a Spanish football expert, has disclosed that Lionel Messi has accepted a new contract offer from PSG. While many are expecting the Argentina World Cup winner to leave the French side and make a return to Barcelona, Balaguer said there is an agreement for Messi to renew his contract in League One. This is despite interest from Messi's former club, Barcelona, where he played for 21 years. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.